This video is going to be about how I lost 20 pounds as a female with type 1 diabetes and hypothyroidism. I'm sorry if my phone falls. It's charging, so it's sitting awkwardly, and I'm obviously filming on my phone. And I would just like to say a disclaimer that I am not a medical professional. I'm not a physician. I'm not a registered dietitian. I'm not qualified to give any medical advice, so please do not take anything that I say as medical advice. I'm going to try to keep this story about myself because it's just a story about how I lost weight. And maybe it'll give you some ideas to think about and something to talk about with your medical team before and if you decide to make any changes to your healthcare routine or lifestyle. If you have anything that you would like to add to this, please comment down below, but please keep it kind. And so there was 4 phases to how I lost weight, how I lost the 20 pounds as a female with type 1 diabetes and hypothyroidism. So phase 0 was just thinking about losing weight, which was the longest phase that I had, the most challenging phase, and I think the most important phase. And so if anyone is like me, I just want to make them feel encouraged if they're like stuck in what I call phase 0, which is like you're not really losing weight, you're like trying different things. But in phase 0, I worked on my baseline health. And I think that was what really helped me get set up to be successful in losing weight. So part of the reason why I gained the weight was because I was taking too much insulin more insulin than what I actually needed. And I was on the Tandem pump. Some people love the Tandem, and some people can lose weight on the Tandem, and I am absolutely not saying that if you're on Tandem, you should get off of Tandem. But in my experience, I switched from Tandem to Omnipod, and that helped me to lose weight because I think the algorithm was just better for me. I know that there's different things you can do with the settings on Tandem, and I know people can lose weight on Tandem as well. But in my situation, I switched to Omnipod and I was able to lose weight, and my A1C still remained under 7%, so I was no more likely to develop diabetic complications. Yeah, phase 0, getting ready to lose weight, working on baseline health, that's what I did. The other part of my baseline health that I did was around the time I was gaining weight, I was developing hypothyroid symptoms. What's the chicken or the egg? I don't know. Was I developing the hypothyroid symptoms because I started gaining weight, or was I gaining weight because of the hypothyroidism? I don't know. I suspect it was a bidirectional relationship. I think both of those problems were compounding on each other and making each other worse, like a snowball. And so I think both of those things were impacting and making each other worse. I think the weight gain was making my hypothyroid symptoms worse, and I think my hypothyroidism was making my weight gain worse. But that's just what I think, and I'm not a medical professional. So I told my doctor that I was experiencing these symptoms. He checked my thyroid, and then my TSH was high, and he increased my thyroid medication. And wow, I felt so much better. I didn't feel better immediately, but maybe around 6 weeks later, I started really noticing I had so much energy, because before I actually was so tired that even my hygiene was worse. That might be TMI, but I felt sometimes I didn't even have energy to stand up and take a shower. I was just so tired. And so actually even my hygiene improved after my TSH went down and I started taking more thyroid medicine. And I felt I forgot what it felt like to feel normal and to actually have energy. I was not used to all this energy. It felt like I was like turning into the Hulk. I was like, oh, I'm ready to go out and do anything. And I started running. Most mornings. I started exercising every single day. And so that was phase 1, was the exercising. So phase 1, I started exercising, and I was doing that. I exercise every single day, even if it's only 5 minutes. And Also, throughout this process, I had a positive mindset. So I used to be a competitive runner when I was in high school, and I even continued to run a lot after that. I was in cross country on the cross country club in college, and I did a marathon after that, etc., etc. Like, I've always been a runner. I've always been athletic. I've always like loved running. Like, it's just fun for me, and um, for like different reasons, I like really backed off of running. But when my TSH came back down and I increased my thyroid medication, like, and also I was not having to feel afraid to exercise because I was not having as many lows, because I was taking less insulin. I switched my pump. I started exercising every day, and I was just feeling amazing. That was phase 1. Phase 2 was I realized, hey, like, now I'm on this new pump. I'm not having low blood sugar all the time. If I try to go on a diet, I will probably work this time, because before it didn't work, because like I would be really good on my diet all day, and then I would just have like low blood sugars, and then like eat an extra 800 calories, and then it just like didn't even like make a difference because my blood sugar was going low so much. So I was like, I bet if I try to diet, like, it'll actually work this time. And I did. And then that was phase 2. I worked on my diet, and then phase 3, I just kept up my routines, and that's when I started to see the results. But I told, again, with the positivity, didn't put any expectations that I had to lose this amount of weight and this fast or anything. I just was like telling myself, just keep up with the routines, and eventually you'll probably lose weight, but like, don't expect anything. You might not even see any results even after a month of maintaining your habit. So my weight fluctuates. Every woman's different, but like, I noticed that it will fluctuate 2 to 7 pounds. And so like, I told myself, like, even if I lose 5 pounds, I'm not gonna like think to myself that I've lost weight, because it could just be water weight that I lost or something. So I told myself, okay, like, after you lose, if you lose more than 5 pounds, then it means you're like officially losing weight. And so that was like, I guess the positivity thinking, I guess, was like just not putting pressure on myself that I had to lose a specific amount of weight in a specific amount of time. And the female part is just like, just recognizing that my weight can go up, but it doesn't mean that I'm gaining weight or not succeeding or failing or anything, because they could just be water weight, could be hormonal. So like, when the number on the scale goes up, I don't worry about that, get caught up in the specific number. I look at trends. If it continues to trend up, then I start to worry. And going back to the phase 0, like about like preparing to lose weight, like, I needed, in my situation, I think the tandem pump was not working for me, partly because my insulin sensitivity changes so much because of the menstrual cycle, and I know every female's different. So some females will say like tandem works great for them, and some females don't see that their insulin sensitivity is really changing that much, maybe. But like, in my situation, I really noticed it a lot. So I started losing weight in I think April of 2024, and then I lost 20 pounds by like, it was like maybe April or May, and then I lost 20 pounds by like around September 2024, and I've kept it off. And in fact, I lost a little bit more weight than that, but then it also fluctuates. So it's about 20 pounds. And so I just want to recap. Phase 0 was preparing to lose weight, doing all the things, and that the most important part about phase 0 was I got my baseline health together. Phase 1 was getting an exercise routine. Phase 2 was working on my diet, and phase 3 was maintaining the habits and eventually seeing results and continuing to think positively. So if you have anything else you'd like to add in the comments related to this video, please comment down below, but please keep it kind. And again, please do not take anything I said as medical advice, because I am not qualified to give medical advice. I hope that my story of how I lost weight was helpful to you, and thank you. Take care.